The quiet hum of the household felt suffocating as I stumbled upon the messages hidden in the depths of Kate's phone. A nagging instinct turned into a chilling reality. The scent of freshly brewed coffee hung in the air, usually a comfort, but today it turned bitter on my tongue as I scrolled through a photo album that should have held nothing but memories. Instead, my heart raced when a notification popped up, drawing me like a moth to a flame. Curiosity gnawed at me until I swiped. The screen revealed a group chat, messages littered with laughter and cruelty. "Did you see how she looks when I'm around? It's like watching a ghost," Kate typed, her words drenched in sarcasm. I felt as if I had been hit in the gut, winded by the impact of her betrayal. Messages flew by like daggers, each one piercing a piece of the fragile trust I had woven through years of shared experiences. The sunlight streaming through the kitchen window suddenly felt cold against my skin. All those times I had graciously stood in the background of my family's life came flooding back. Standing beside Kate at family gatherings, smiling and supporting her, while my own ambitions faded into the shadows. I had sacrificed something precious for this family, my dreams, my aspirations, my very voice. And now it was all laid bare, stripped away by the sister whom I had adored and believed I could rely upon. My name is Laura, I'm 42, and until today, I believed I understood my family. I whispered to myself in disbelief. Those words echoed through my mind, a painful refrain as the ringing phone in my pocket went unanswered. It was a reminder of my insignificance, of how easily my voice could be drowned out in a room full of noise, laughter, and fleeting confetti moments. I gripped the edge of the counter to steady myself, my knuckles turning white. The familiar knot of betrayal tightened in my stomach, a physical manifestation of the emotional collapse around me. Thoughts of all the sacrifices I had made, trading my career dreams for the more tangible, nurturing role of wife and mother, swirled in my mind, heavy and suffocating. I had always thought Kate was a fun-loving sister, someone who lit up rooms, but now I could see the darkness laced in her brightness. I realized the words, "Did you hear she wants to start a business?" bounced off the walls of that chat as if to stir up a cloud of envy, planting the seed of doubt among my family. This wasn't just banter, it was a clear strike aimed at my very being. The laughter in those messages echoed in my ears, ringing out against the quiet of the kitchen, turning it into a mausoleum of hopes, dreams, and sighs. With each message I read, the layers of my trust dissolved like sugar in boiling water. I had given my love and devotion to a family that had turned my existence into a game, an infuriating charade. I was merely the backdrop to Kate's relentless pursuit of attention, and this had been her tactic all along. I was left standing as the naive sister who had sacrificed her own dreams, believing that the bond we shared would endure, but I felt a fire kindling within me, ignited by the very flames that had sought to consume my spirit. She thought I was weak, lost in her shadow, but she never saw the fire that smoldered within me. With this revelation, I began to chart a path from the ashes of humiliation. The pang of anger I felt was no longer something to stifle in suppressed resignation. It stirred an unmistakable resolve. I could not remain a prisoner in this life, not with the truths I had unearthed. I knew I had to reclaim my story, to resurrect my dignity from this betrayal. The rage coursing through me was no longer about wild revenge. Instead, it became a strategic fire. I closed my eyes for a moment, the sensation of air rushing into my lungs, calling me to clarity. There was a plan forming in the recesses of my mind. I wouldn't unleash a storm of chaos on my family. Instead, I would turn my humiliation into deliberate power, crafting my next moves carefully and effectively, much like the way I had navigated this tumultuous family landscape for years. As I stood in that kitchen, surrounded by the remnants of what had once felt like home, I began my internal strategy. Kate had underestimated me long enough, wrapped in her bubble of charm and manipulation. No longer. I was ready to burn down the realm of deceit she had created and rise from the ashes, forged in resilience and wisdom. With the weight of determination settling upon my shoulders, I knew I would face her eventually, not with cries of betrayal, but with the calm conviction of a woman reborn. I had a fire within me now, a fire that would shine brightly enough to expose the shadows lurking in the hearts of those closest to me, a fire that, when it extinguished, would reveal both my truth and my freedom. In the days that followed the revelation, I found myself in an emotional exile within my own home. I occupied the guest room, an unwelcoming space that felt like a prison. The air was stark and sterile, the sheets cold against my skin, starkly contrasting with the warmth of my once shared bedroom. Each time I laid down, I was reminded of the comforting embrace of my past life, now forever altered by my sister's betrayal. Memories flickered like a movie reel through my mind, juxtaposing the past with the present. I saw myself at family gatherings, laughing when it was expected, all while my heart was crumbling beneath the surface. Birthdays where Kate shone brightly, her infectious laugh echoing as I melted into the background. I had sacrificed my dreams for family cohesion, hoping that by blending in, I could help build a nurturing environment. How naive I had been. I remembered the Christmas when she received her promotion at work. The cheers that erupted around the dining table rang hollow in comparison to my own silent heartache. I had wanted to scream that my own successes had been set aside, neglected like forgotten toys. Yet instead I merely raised a glass to toast her, plastering a smile on my face like a well-rehearsed puppet. "You've always been such a good sister, Laura," our mother would say, the admiration in her voice clashing violently with the gnaw of yearning in my gut. How could they not see the sacrifices I made for them? How could they not recognize the quiet woman forever hidden in the shadows, battling with her identity? Even during mundane family dinners, I had felt it. Kate's need to outshine me, her words deliberately sharp under the guise of playful jokes. "Laura, are you still working on that little project?" she'd quipped one evening, her laughter rising above the murmurs of the rest of the family, dropping like a stone in my chest. Everyone laughed, but the sharpness was like a blade, slicing through my thoughts and dismissing my dreams. Shivers ran across my skin as an echo of that evening replayed itself in my head. The familiar knot returned, twisting and tightening around my heart. I had spent years reinforcing Kate's spotlight, while my own light dimmed to a flickering ember. I focused instead on my children, where I found solace. They needed me, fiercely and wholeheartedly. I bought them their favorite snacks, played board games late into the night, and kissed them goodnight, whispering how much I loved them, hoping to channel my love into them, to ensure they could fulfill their dreams without the shadows of betrayal looming over them. But in those moments, glimmers of resentment began to bubble within me. Why had I allowed this to happen? The kitchen, once my sanctuary, now felt like a battleground. Every meal I prepared for the family while wrapped in the icy silence highlighted my solitude. I poured floundering emotions into every recipe, trying to reclaim pieces of the home I loved, but the underlying current of tension was palpable. Each time I set the dinner table, I could almost hear Kate's condescending words echoing, taunting me with reminders of my perceived failures. As my mind lingered on the past, the realization struck me with sudden clarity. Those years of setting my dreams aside had not detailed a weakness. It had only forged strength beneath a delicate surface. That was the key. If I could harness the pain of my humiliation and channel it into a plan to expose the deceit, then perhaps I could reclaim my life. I began to document my memories, piecing together a timeline of Kate's constant undermining. I pulled old photographs from the depths of the closet, images of family vacations where I had smiled for the camera, capturing memories only to realize how often I'd hidden behind her. I documented her vicious comments, her dismissive gestures, the insinuations that always ended with her at the center of attention. I wrote down every instance, combining them all into a tapestry of deceit that would serve as my evidence. The fire within me burned even brighter as I wove this narrative. No longer would I allow myself to be a passive observer in this family saga. The realization sent ripples of courage through my veins. I was not broken. I was a warrior preparing for battle, gathering weapons forged in my quiet suffering. With each passing day, I became more determined to reclaim the narrative of my life. The notion of exile began to transform within me. I was no longer the defeated. I was preparing to rise. I noticed little changes around me, a strength in the way I held myself, a firmer tone in my voice when speaking to my children about the importance of self-worth. They deserved to see that their mother could be both nurturing and resolute. With that resolve sparking in my heart, I ventured out of the isolated space I had occupied for too long. I engaged more with my family, wearing masks of normalcy while hiding my strategy behind the corners of my smile. I became a chess player, plotting my moves cautiously while keeping the stakes of my game high. Days turned into weeks, and the numbness that threatened to consume me lessened with each fleeting moment of clarity. "You thought I was weak," I practiced whispering to myself, preparing for the moment I would finally confront Kate. "But you have unleashed the fire within me." The time would come, and when it did, everything would change. Weeks passed like a slow tide, carrying my emotions in and out, from silent ire to stealthy resolve. Each day I donned my mask of normalcy. I would engage in the usual sisterly banter with Kate, playing my role while beneath it all, my heart thudded with the pulse of a hunter stalking its prey. The distance between us felt palpable, and I was acutely aware of every subtle interaction, like the careful strokes of an artist capturing shifting shadows on canvas. Then, one late afternoon, bravery surged within me like a meteor streaking through the night. Kate had left her phone unattended on the kitchen counter again. The screen dimmed, but still an invitation I couldn't resist. My intuition urged me forward. If there were secrets to be revealed, I would unearth them today. As I picked up the device, a quiver of excitement mixed with dread ignited my every nerve. The sunlight streamed in through the kitchen window, a warm golden glow that almost mocked my creeping treachery. I scrolled through her photos and messages, with each swipe amplifying my curiosity, concern turning to aggression. I steeled myself, aware that I was crossing an unseen line. Each moment I dedicated to this digital excavation made the stakes rise higher. Then I came across a file marked Plans. I felt my breath catch, a cacophony of emotions battling within me. I wasn't prepared for what awaited inside. The folder contained detailed notes pertaining to career opportunities I had shared with her. A treasure trove of my dreams laid bare. Kate had been keeping meticulous track of my aspirations, dissecting them piece by piece, ostensibly as support, but instead it was a weapon. One message struck like lightning. "Laura thinks she can start something meaningful? Look who we're talking about," it read. The cruelty was sharp, each word a calculated strike. It felt like a violation, an unwarranted intrusion into my deepest ambitions and vulnerabilities. I had poured my hopes into conversations that she had twisted and tucked away, using them as a guide to undermine me at every turn. Hot indignation washed over me, igniting a furious resolve. No longer could I remain the sidelined sister. The tension of betrayal suddenly crystallized into a solid form, something I could confront with both clarity and consequence. I wouldn't just sit back and let the threads of my life be woven incorrectly. This was about more than me. It was about reclaiming my narrative and tearing down the walls of deception she had built. Reeling from the discovery, I reached out to Marissa, my closest ally, the one person who had always seen the strength hidden within my quiet demeanor. Over coffee in her vibrant kitchen, with sunlight streaming through the windows, I poured out the heartache and fury spilling from my newly acquired evidence. "Kate has turned my very dreams against me," I told her, my voice a mixture of anger and disbelief. "Laura, this isn't just rivalry anymore. It's sabotage. You need to confront her," Marissa replied, the concern evident in her eyes but laced with a firm sense of urgency. Her words settled in my marrow, igniting the embers of defiance buried within me. As I left Marissa's home that day, I felt a sense of mission blossom. It was time to compile everything I had gathered, each screenshot, every fragment of conversation, all the hurt laced in laughter. I decided to meticulously document all that I had unearthed, turning my emotional turmoil into a powerful arsenal. I named the digital folder The Truth, both a declaration and a preparation for battle. With each word I wrote, clarity rippled through my mind. I embraced what I was doing with renewed intensity. The anger that once threatened to consume me transformed into something different, a weapon forged from the pain I had endured. I knew I would confront her. I would dismantle the twisted web of lies she had spun around our family. Days turned into those surreal, quiet weeks where time felt elastic. I began spending more time with my children, engaging them in discussions about dreams and aspirations, instilling a sense of worth they deserved to feel. They needed to see me as a strong role model, not just the quiet sister who abdicated power. I practiced the confrontation in my mind, played out each curve of dialogue with precision, told myself that I was worthy, that I was enough, that Kate's dismissals were nothing but reflections of her insecurities. The more grounded I became in my truth, the more the distance between allies closed up around me. When I glanced at Kate, the tension in my gut tightened. I began to see her for who she really was, not the sister I adored, but the woman hell-bent on ensuring my voice remained drowned out. As I gathered the last threads of my evidence, both fear and courage coiled into something powerful within me. A storm honed to confront deception with clarity. I realized I was ready to rise, to face my sister like a lioness, armed with truth. The idea of confrontation no longer frightened me. It invigorated me. I would tear down her facade, expose her manipulations, and reclaim my narrative piece by piece. The time for action was drawing near, and I would stand unyielding, ready to confront Kate. This battle would not just be about words, but about reclaiming everything she had taken and asserting my place as a force to be reckoned with in our family. Days felt both brisk and ethereal as I moved through them, each moment paving the way toward the impending confrontation with Kate. I could feel the ground shifting beneath us, the air ripe with tension as I continued to gather support and intel that would fortify my position. It was time to become not just a participant in this family saga, but the architect of my fate. I made a point to observe Kate closely during family gatherings, blending into the scenery of laughter and chatter while quietly taking mental notes. Each interaction with her became a study, a meticulous examination of her words and actions, which were so often laced with veiled cruelty. I needed to uncover everything I could, exploiting even the slightest weaknesses I could detect. Family dinners took on a new atmosphere. I watched as Kate charmingly flexed her wit, tossing out jokes that garnered applause while pretending to subtly undermine me. "Oh, Laura, still working on that hobby of yours?" she had once said, her tone jesting but her eyes probing. I noted the way her laughter rang hollow, as if she derived pleasure from belittling my ambitions. Each moment made it clearer. She wasn't just my sister, she was my most formidable opponent. I decided to utilize my time effectively, seeking out old family friends who had known us throughout the years. Slowly, I began to gather anecdotal evidence, weaving together stories that painted a fuller picture of the woman Kate portrayed herself to be. One night, after a particularly vibrant dinner with family friends, we retreated to the common space where the nostalgic warmth of the fire invited confidences to spill. As I probed gently about memories shared since childhood, I noticed a shift. It's strange, the way Kate always seemed to overshadow. One friend mused, her voice tinged with recollection. She had this way of turning every conversation back to herself. I inhaled sharply, her words confirming what I had suspected while providing fresh insights. I began to index these testimonies, mentally recording instances of Kate's behavior while stirring a quiet storm inside me. Every share added ammunition to what I intended to unleash. Armed with memories and narratives mixing in a cocktail of revelation, I grew more resolute. I would trap her in the very web of deception she had spun so deftly. Each day turned into silent preparation, but with every whisper of betrayal I unearthed, my own confidence blossomed. However, there was one key element missing: hard evidence that Kate's machinations extended beyond simple sibling rivalry. I sat down one evening with my own data containing texts and emails I'd saved over the years, examining them one by one for any clues or threads that could connect to larger schemes that could potentially reveal bad faith in her actions. The more I searched, the more pieces I unearthed. Decisions made without my knowledge, choices that impacted my career without my consent. It was as if I was peeling back layers of a complex onion, with every layer revealing new depths of manipulation. I took screenshots of selected correspondence, carefully documenting it in the computer file I had preciously named The Truth. There was a palpable crescendo building within my resolve. each pore of these truths into my file an act of defiance against her deceit. It wouldn't just be verbal accusations I hurled her way. I would build a case, evidence as solid as a rock that showcased her manipulations to the world we both lived in. With each passing day, I felt myself edging closer to clarity. The buzz of butterflies in my stomach whispered of anticipation. I could almost taste the moment I would confront Kate. I watched her glide with ease through our family gatherings, seemingly untouchable, yet I knew her time of reckoning was almost upon her. In a strange way, I felt gratitude for those dark moments. They were no longer a source of shame that laid me low. Instead, they had become my scaffolding, building me up, preparing me to face the shadows Kate cast across my life. Each realization freed me from the prison she had tried to construct around my narrative. I allowed this newfound strength to permeate my being as I honed my approach toward the ultimate confrontation. But the deeper I dug, the more I realized time was of the essence. I needed to act before she felt the tremors of my rising intensity. The final plan to dismantle the lies and confront Kate was crystallizing in my mind. The evidence I gathered would prove key to not only tearing down the facade she had created, but reclaiming what was naturally mine, my dignity, my voice, and my rightful place in our family's story. The day of reckoning loomed closer. It was approaching with a steadiness that tingled with electric promise. I could practically feel the air shift, a palpable energy hanging between us, waiting for the moment of revelation to spill forth. Soon, she would face the consequences of her deception, and I would finally be free to step into the light. The time was right to prepare for the final act. It wouldn't simply be a confrontation, it would be a liberation. The days leading up to my confrontation with Kate were filled with meticulous planning. I was prepared to methodically dismantle the power she had wielded over me for too long. Choosing a time and place that balanced familiarity with significance, I settled on the quaint cafe where we had shared countless laughs, a space now steeped in bittersweet memories. On the eve of our meeting, I revisited the evidence stored in my digital folder, the truth. I felt a surge of adrenaline as I prepared to wield my collected proof. I practiced in front of the mirror, enunciating each point I planned to make. "You will not silence me any longer," I whispered fiercely, letting the declaration settle like armor across my chest. The next morning, I dressed with purpose. Clad in an outfit that exuded confidence but also a touch of vulnerability, I stepped out into the morning light. It was a beautiful day, echoing the spirits of renewal and courage that swirled within me. My heart pounded as I approached the cafe, anxiety mixing with excitement. Today was the day I would reclaim my narrative. Kate was already seated when I arrived, her eyes glancing up with a mixture of curiosity and guardedness. As I sat down, I noticed the familiar half-finished latte before her. Those shared moments felt like distant echoes from a time when our relationship was defined by kinship rather than conflict. "Hey, Kate," I started, my voice steady but layered with a subtle intensity. "We need to talk." "Sure, what about?" she replied, feigning a casualness that barely masked her guarded intrigue. My heart raced, but I remained anchored in the truth of the moment. "I've realized that there's been a lot brewing between us. Something I need to address," I began, feeling the weight of unspoken feelings coalescing into words. "Okay, what do you mean?" Her facade was beginning to slip, curiosity igniting in her eyes. "You've undermined my ambitions for years, Kate, treating them as if they were insignificant." I leaned closer, the atmosphere charged. You've made comments that belittled my dreams, turning our family narrative into a competitive arena where I've always come out on the losing end. Her demeanor shifted, defensiveness knitting her brows, but I pressed on. It's time to face the reality of your behavior. I have evidence, I said, pulling out a printed message from her phone, illustrating her belittlement of my aspirations. You labeled my dreams as naive. How is that supportive? I watched as her expression faltered, the protective wall she had built beginning to crumble. I didn't mean it like that, she stammered, but I was ready for her denial. Then explain how you intended it, I challenged, leaning into my conviction. For too long I felt minimized in your shadow. I refuse to let you continue this way. The bustling cafe blurred around us as I laid out more evidence, detailing her manipulations and instances where she had positioned herself as the star, leaving my light dimmed. Each revelation hung in the air like a silence demanding acknowledgement, the tension palpable. Kate, this isn't just sibling rivalry. This is about reclaiming my voice and my place in our family, I declared, my confidence solidifying as her facade cracked further. Shocked, she opened her mouth as if to find a rebuttal, yet the words faded into the background noise of clinking cups and hushed murmurs. You're twisting everything, she finally managed, the desperation creeping into her tone. No, I countered calmly. I'm finally speaking my truth. My right to exist in this family without being diminished is paramount, not just for me, but for my children as well. The gravity of those words hung between us, thicker than the caffeine-laden air in the cafe. I could see Kate reaching to collect herself, but the cracks were visible. My heart raced as I realized that today marked a turning point, not only for me, but for the suffocating silence that had dominated my existence. This wasn't just a confrontation, it was my liberation. I felt the powerful swell of courage within me, an affirmation of my personal truth that had been buried for far too long. I wouldn't emerge as a victim, but rather as a woman, reclaiming the narrative that was hers by right. With the last of my evidence presented, I took a deep breath, allowing the weight of my words to settle in. I knew I could not anticipate her next move, but I could control how I reacted. As the emotions danced between us, shame, fear, realization, I felt lighter. I was unearthing my sense of self, no longer allowing her judgments to distort my worth. As I gathered my things, ready to leave the cafe, I felt a renewed sense of clarity wash over me. The confrontation had not just been about bringing her truth to light, it had been a celebration of stepping into my own. I could walk away, holding my head high, knowing I had asserted my voice and presence, and that was just the beginning. The time for change had arrived, and I was ready to embrace it with open arms. As I stepped out of the cafe, the fresh air rushed over me, invigorating my spirit. I felt a mix of lightness and determination, like I had just shed layers of conflict that had long weighed me down. Yet, I knew the battle was not over. It was only just beginning. Kate's reaction still lingered in my mind, like a half-formed thought lurking in shadows. I couldn't predict how she would respond to my unveiling of truths. I only knew it would change everything. Days passed, each one thick with unresolved tension. I returned to my normal routine, yet the spaces where Kate and I once flowed together now felt ambiguous, charged with unspoken truths. Conversations at family gatherings felt strained. Glances exchanged held unyielding weight. I sensed Kate struggling to regain her footing, She was trapped in the web of her own making. Then, one evening, as I sat on the porch sipping tea, my phone vibrated with a text from Kate. It read simply, "We need to talk. Can you meet me tomorrow?" A knot tightened in my stomach. This was the response I had anticipated, but I didn't expect how the reality of it would reverberate through me. The sun dipped low on the horizon, painting the sky with strokes of orange and pink, almost mocking the hidden tumult within. I wandered through the house, feeling the walls pulse with memories, the laughter, the whispers, the fragility of our sisterhood. I craved clarity. I wanted to see her, but shadows of doubt fluttered in my chest. The next day, we met in the park where we had shared countless childhood moments, swings and giggles echoing a simpler time. Kate arrived, having donned a veneer of calm, though her eyes betrayed her anxiety. She stood before me, arms crossed, a defense mechanism radiating from her posture. "I didn't appreciate how you confronted me the other day," she began, her tone edging on defensive. "You made me sound like a monster." "Maybe it's time you recognized the truth of your actions, Kate," I replied firmly, keeping my tone level. "You've hurt me over the years, and you need to own it, not twist it back on me." Kate huffed, her arms tightening around herself. "I only did it because I was scared, Laura. Scared of losing you to something I didn't understand." Her vulnerability caught me off guard. A part of me felt the urge to soften, to reach out, but I recalled the moments where this fear turned into cruel manipulation. "You can't threaten my dreams and then claim fear as your excuse. I can't be responsible for your insecurities." The underlying anger surged. Every time I reached for a goal, you were there, undermining me. That's not sisterly, it's toxic. I took a deep breath, feeling my pulse quicken. This was my moment. Tears glistened in her eyes, and for a moment I saw the sister I remembered, the girl who once promised to have my back. "It's not that simple," she whispered, voice cracking. "I've always been afraid of being overshadowed." "Then help me shine, Kate," I implored, leaning forward. "Let's build each other up instead of tearing each other down. This can't be about competition anymore." The air was thick with emotion, her features unraveling as I offered the opportunity for reconciliation. It could be different. We could redefine our relationship, but it would require honesty and accountability. Would she take the step? I need time to think," she finally murmured, her gaze lingering on the ground, uncertainty cloaking her. "But I don't want to lose you." The vulnerability I saw in her eyes ignited a flicker of compassion within me, even amidst the frustrations. "Then you have to confront the damage you've done, Kate. The path to rebuilding trust isn't easy, but it starts with consequences for our actions." We parted ways in a wavering state of hope intermingled with uncertainty. That evening, as I prepared dinner, I felt the swirling emotions settle. I wasn't naive enough to believe that everything would simply fall into place. There would be missteps, and painful realizations might lie ahead. But I was standing firm on the promise of growth, one that would either deepen our bond or redefine it entirely. In the following days, Kate's absence in my life felt tangible, an ache mixed with a cautious optimism. I continued to reinforce my own boundaries while holding space for the possibility of reconciliation. Our family was already witnessing a shift, the ripples of our confrontation altering perceptions. And then came the moment that sent shockwaves through our family circle. Kate showed up at my door just as we were ringing in my birthday, a gesture that carried weight. "Happy birthday!" she exclaimed, holding out a small, wrapped gift. "I know it's a bit late, but I wanted you to have this." With a mix of curiosity and disbelief, I accepted the package. As I unwrapped it, I found a small silver necklace engraved with our initials intertwined, symbols of unity, a reflection of a bond that transcended rivalry. She had taken a step, however small, toward healing. "I want to work on us," Kate murmured. "Now that I see the damage my actions caused, I want to try and fix it." It was, without a doubt, a fragile beginning. As I looked at her earnestness, I acknowledged that this wasn't merely about our past. It was an invitation to foster a new chapter, rooted in mutual respect. We stood at the edge of transformation, my heart thrumming with cautious hope. As the path unfolded before us, I learned that healing wasn't a linear journey. It was a complex dance steeped in vulnerability and courage. Yet, as I stepped into a new chapter shrouded in possibility, I felt powerful, no longer diminished but resolute and ready to embrace whatever lay ahead. The days following my birthday felt transformative. The small silver necklace hung around my neck, a constant reminder of Kate's commitment to change and the fragile bridge we were beginning to rebuild. Each morning, I would touch it lightly, an affirmation of hope and reconciliation. I had reclaimed my dignity, but now I had to embrace the potential of sisterhood anew. Our family dynamics were shifting, and I was determined to cultivate an atmosphere of honesty and transparency. I initiated open dialogues, allowing space for the unfiltered truths that had once been silenced. Dinner conversations became avenues for discussion rather than walls of judgment. We shared our feelings, our struggles, and slowly the irony of vulnerability unfolded. Kate and I were not just sisters, we were allies on this journey of growth. Kate often visited. Sometimes we would each bring a dish to prepare together, laughter bubbling as we reminisced over our childhood antics. I admired her willingness to engage, but I also recognized the shadows of the past that lingered in our interactions. It was a delicate dance, but I was committed to practicing resilience and compassion in every step. One evening, as we cooked together, I noticed a flicker of vulnerability trace her features. "I've been working on accepting my mistakes," she admitted softly, stirring the pot. "It's hard knowing that I hurt people I love." I nodded, adding a pinch of salt to the sauce, my heart swelling with empathy. "It's a process. I've had to confront my own vulnerabilities too. Becoming who I am now means owning my story, both the highs and the lows." In that moment, the weight of the past began to lift. We shared a bond forged anew, proof that healing, although challenging, was possible. The transformative power of forgiveness didn't simply reside in letting go. It lay in understanding one another's humanity, flaws and all. Around a month later, we planned a family gathering at my house. I meticulously arranged flowers and lit candles, trying to create an atmosphere that invited warmth and connection. As family members filtered in, I felt the energy shift. There was an eagerness that had not existed before, a subtle sense that our dynamics were evolving. Conversations flowed with laughter, tensions eased, and I marveled at how far we had come. As the gathering wore on, I watched Kate engage with my children, her warmth shining through. They adored her, and for the first time in years, she seemed to genuinely relish being part of their lives. I noticed the way she listened to their stories, her laughter mingling with theirs. It was magical. About halfway through the evening, I gathered my family for a toast. As I raised my glass, I felt gratitude swell inside me. "To family and new beginnings," I began, meeting Kate's gaze across the room. "To the beauty of growth, healing, and finding strength in one another." As glasses clinked together, I felt a wave of hope wash over us. We were moving from brokenness to resilience, rewriting our family narrative. The celebration became more than just a gathering. It became a testament to our journey, one of vulnerability, acceptance, and love. In the following months, we continued to foster our bond, navigating through challenges while celebrating victories. I found myself exploring new interests and aspirations that I had long shelved, emboldened by the support I received. I ventured into art classes and concerted writing projects that had previously seemed unreachable. One day, as I painted, I received a call from an old friend who surprised me with an opportunity to showcase my work at a local gallery. "I'd love to feature your pieces," she urged, excitement palpable through the phone. My heart raced. This was what I had craved, an outlet for expression and a leap toward rediscovering my passions. I accepted, feeling renewed energy coursing through me. The opening night arrived, electric tension mingling with anticipation as guests filtered in. As I stood among my artwork, a wave of pride washed over me. Each brushstroke reflected not just my artistic journey, but the resilience I had cultivated, intertwined with Kate's support. Hours into the evening, I spotted Kate across the room, beaming as she spoke with family members, her vibrant energy lighting up the space. Joy fluttered in my heart. She had transformed, embracing her authentic self, standing beside me rather than against me. Later that night, we found a moment away from the crowd, the din fading into the background. "I'm so proud of you," she said, her eyes shining. "Thank you," I replied, embracing her. "I couldn't have done it without you. We've both shown up for each other in unexpected ways, and that has been invaluable." We stood together, recognizing that our bond was marked by resilience, love, and understanding. This was more than just a victory for me. It was a testament to our shared evolution. In the pursuit of healing, we forged an unbreakable connection that transcended years of rivalry. As I looked around at the family and laughter vibrant in the gallery, a realization washed over me. I was not only reclaiming my path, I was planting seeds for the next generation. My children witnessed the importance of connection, forgiveness, and the power of speaking one's truth. Together, Kate and I were crafting a new life, ripples of change shaping our future. In the embrace of sisterly love, we discovered that the greatest strength lies in vulnerability, and that the most profound healing comes from navigating the tides of life together. As the months unfolded, both Kate and I felt the reverberations of our choices ripple through our lives and those of our families. The newfound connection we shared had transformed into a firm foundation of respect, support, and acknowledgement. Slowly but surely, the scars of our past became marks of resilience, reflections of the battles we had overcome, rather than mere remnants of wounds left unhealed. With my art exhibit behind me, I was doused in a newfound zeal for life, ready to embrace new adventures. Word spread about my creativity, sparking opportunities. I was invited to host workshops for aspiring artists, sharing not just techniques but the essence of finding one's voice through expression. On beautiful weekend afternoons, eager participants gathered in sun-soaked rooms, their faces lighting up with inspiration. As I guided them, I felt a deep satisfaction. In nurturing others, I continued forging my own strength. Moreover, as I embraced my journey, I recognized that the time had come to extend my hand further out to those who had witnessed our story, the ones who had weathered our stormy seas. We began organizing family gatherings, each one themed around connection. These events fostered dialogue about growth, inviting relatives to share their stories of struggle, regret, and triumph. It transformed into a beautiful tapestry woven from experiences, illustrating how imperfections could intersect and resonate through the dynamics of family. One crisp evening in October, we decided to host a family retreat at a nearby cabin, a place imbued with generations of histories and memories. I carefully curated activities that would encourage authenticity and open dialogue, where laughter mingled with shared silences of reflection. Kate was right by my side, as excited as I was to break down barriers, strengthening bonds that held our family together. As we gathered around crackling fires, storytelling flowed freely beneath the broad expanse of stars. Each voice added to the symphony of connection. I glanced over at Kate, her eyes glinting with a mix of appreciation and nostalgia. She caught my gaze, a silent understanding passing between us, a testament to how far we had come. This was our foundation, built on mutual dedication to growth and healing. Following a heartfelt evening of sharing revelations, Kate rose to speak. I never imagined we could repair what felt irreparably broken. But sitting here, realizing that we're learning from our past, I feel hopeful we will stop living in shadows. Her words resonated deeply through the group. I saw heads nodding in agreement, a collective spark igniting hope for the future. As the sun dipped below the horizon the next day, we wrapped up our retreat. The air was thick with warmth as laughter bounced inside the cabin walls. We felt a palpable shift in the atmosphere, focusing on the bonds that connected us rather than those of competition. Back in my daily routine, I continued painting, creating pieces inspired by our family stories, but always with a focus on unity and healing. One piece in particular was emblematic, vivid with colors blending into one another, encapsulating our journey. I named it Ebb and Flow, a tangible representation of life and the importance of both vulnerability and strength within a shared narrative. As I prepared for another gallery show featuring these newer works, the sense of excitement bubbled again. This time, the perception had shifted. I wasn't just showing my art, I was showcasing our collective stories of healing, a message of resilience that echoed both in the strokes of the paintbrush and the whispers of those who inspired it. On the night of the gallery opening, a vibrant energy danced through the air, similar to the one I had felt during my first show months ago. This time, however, it was drenched in the warmth of unity and love, a contrasting aura compared to the earlier tension. As guests entered, I smiled, welcoming them to witness not just my art, but the essence of our journey. Kate stood nearby, engaging with acquaintances, her personality glowing. In this moment, I marveled at the sister I had once thought I'd lost forever. The weight of our shared experiences had chiseled away at our fears, revealing the core of what had once been fractured. As the evening wound down, I stepped away for a moment of reflection, gazing at my creations. The walls around me narrated stories of resilience, and as I watched guests explore, I felt an overwhelming sense of fulfillment wash over me. This was not only my journey, but a testament to the power of sisterhood and the obstacles faced and overcome when we commit to authenticity. Moments later, Kate found me, her eyes sparkling. "Laura, your work is incredible." The sincerity in her voice echoed through me like a melody. With a smile, I turned to her. "Thank you, Kate. It feels alive. We were born from strife, and now we've merged that with love. Before we could lose ourselves in the crowd, I took her hands in mine, feeling the warmth of connection knead our past into a brilliant tapestry. This journey has made us better people. I look forward to what lies ahead for both of us. Our gaze held steady, hearts open like blooming flowers as we forged ahead. In that intimate moment, I realized it was not merely an art opening. It was an artful metamorphosis that had transformed both our lives and our family's legacy. Embracing the ensuing years, we continued to navigate life with its unpredictable waves, but I carried within me the unwavering strength of knowing that no matter what storms may arise, we had built a robust foundation rooted in love, resilience, and adaptability. The tides of life would ebb and flow, but we were prepared to face whatever came next, together. Months turned into years, and as the seasons shifted, Kate and I became increasingly intertwined in the complexities of family life and work. Our bond deepened, evolving from past tensions into a solid foundation of support and understanding. We both embraced our individual journeys while consciously entwining our paths, becoming true advocates for each other. One sunlit spring day, inspiration ignited in my mind. I had been reflecting on how far we'd come, not just in our healing, but in fostering connections within our family. I turned to Kate, who was perched by the window basking in the sunlight. What do you think about starting a joint project to share our story of resilience? I want others to see what we've built together. A bright smile broke across her face. I love that idea, a collaborative piece that reflects our journey. It could be a powerful way to inspire others going through struggles. With renewed enthusiasm, we set to work. Each session became a dance of creativity as we merged our artistic styles and interwove themes of sisterhood and healing. We envisioned a tapestry that would showcase not only our experiences, but those of our family. We reached out to relatives, inviting them to contribute their stories and artistic expressions. What began as a simple idea fattened into a community effort rich with color, emotion, and shared resilience. Letters, drawings, and mementos flowed in like vibrant threads stitching our family together, transforming past pain into a celebration of healing. As the project developed, our family opened up in unexpected ways. Stories once locked away, laden with years of silence, began to surface. The act of sharing and creating released burdens and breathed life into their narratives, reminding everyone of the healing power of connection. One sunny afternoon, we displayed the growing collection across my studio floor. Each piece told its own story, and as we combined them, I felt a wave of appreciation. Together we are stronger, and each part of this represents our journey, what we've fought through and how far we've come. I didn't realize how healing this process would be for all of us, Kate said, touching a handwritten note, an apology from a family member long buried. It reminds us that authenticity has a profound impact. With completion on the horizon, we decided to unveil our work during the upcoming family reunion. It felt like a bold step, but we believed it was essential to present the artwork in a space filled with love and laughter. The day of the reunion arrived, the backyard vibrant with family chatter and blossoming flowers. As the sun dipped below the horizon, we gathered everyone around to unveil our piece, feeling excitement ripple through the crowd. Today, we present something that speaks to our journey, I began, taking a breath. It is a testament of healing and the love that binds us. When the fabric covering our artwork was pulled away, gasps filled the air. The piece radiated emotion, a canvas aglow with colors and stories from every family member, revealing the grit and grace of our collective experiences. One by one, relatives stepped forward, their faces lighting up as they recognized their contributions. Laughter, tears, and shared memories flowed, weaving a rich tapestry of our family's journey. Watching their reactions, a sense of fulfillment washed over me. This was the culmination of our hard work, a testament to what resilience and unity could achieve. After the unveiling, Kate turned to me, beaming. I never imagined we could create something so profound. It's a celebration of strength and authenticity. Nodding, I replied, "This is just the beginning, Kate. Our journey is ongoing, and I believe we can continue to share our story with others." The summer birthed new layers in our lives as we expanded our vision. The artwork inspired community conversations, leading to workshops where we encouraged others to share their stories through creativity. We opened spaces filled with laughter and vulnerability, inviting people to connect and heal. As the seasons shifted, I reflected once again on how we had grown. Not only had I rediscovered my artistic voice, but together we forged an environment where our entire family could flourish. Each decision and shared experience blossomed into a flourishing garden of resilience. Stepping forward, I embraced the future with excitement. I knew that through our connection and our continued dedication to healing and creation, we were ready to face what lay ahead. The journey was an ongoing process, a testament to our shared commitment to resilience, love, and authenticity. We stood united, strong in the face of whatever tides may come, ready to embrace new horizons together. With each passing season, our lives unfolded like the petals of a blossoming flower. The workshops flourished, drawing in community members eager to share their stories through art. These gatherings became a sacred space where vulnerability thrived, and new connections formed that were rooted in authenticity. Not only were we healing individually, but the community was transforming into a tapestry of shared experiences. As autumn approached, the air grew crisp with anticipation. Kate and I decided to organize a community art exhibition to showcase the creations born from our workshops. "This will be our way of giving back," I explained to her. "It's important to honor the stories and voices that have emerged from our gatherings. This is about more than just us." The idea ignited a fire within us. We began reaching out to participants, encouraging them to display their artwork, words, and reflections. The response was overwhelmingly positive, with submissions pouring in from every corner of our community. Each piece told a story, the struggles, the triumphs, the moments that shaped their lives. It was beautiful and humbling to witness the diverse narratives intertwining into a collective narrative of resilience. In the weeks leading up to the exhibition, our evenings were filled with preparations. We meticulously planned each detail from the setup to the marketing, optimistic about creating an inspiring culmination of shared creativity. As we sorted through the submissions, one project caught my eye, a mural sketch crafted by a young girl named Sophia, vividly illustrating her journey of overcoming bullying. It resonated deeply with me and highlighted just how impactful this project could be. When the day of the exhibition finally arrived, a buzz of excitement filled the air. The gallery was alive with vibrant colors, passionate conversations, and an undercurrent of hope. As I stepped inside, I felt a sense of pride swell within me. This was more than just an exhibition, it was a celebration of resilience. a testament to how art could heal and bring people together. Guests flowed through the gallery, absorbing the stories showcased on the walls. Sophia's mural was a focal point, drawing in a crowd that listened intently as she bravely shared her story. I watched as her voice trembled with emotion, yet she stood firm, radiating courage. It was a moment of sheer beauty, witnessing a young girl reclaim her power through art. During the event, I caught sight of Kate across the room. She was talking to an older gentleman, his eyes shining with gratitude as he shared how the workshops had allowed him to confront his long-hidden traumas. I felt a warmth spread through my chest. This was everything we had hoped to create together. Eventually, people began to gather for a closing circle where we invited attendees to share their thoughts and reflections on what they'd experienced. As the circle formed, I took a deep breath and looked around. "Thank you all for joining us today," I began, feeling the weight of the collective energy. This exhibition represents not just our concepts of healing, but the importance of community. Each story here contributes to a legacy of strength and empathy. As I spoke, I saw nods of agreement and encouraging smiles. When I finished, a series of heartfelt stories followed. People thanked each other for their bravery and authenticity, expressing how their lives had changed for the better through art. When it was Kate's turn to share, she spoke about our journey, our struggles, our healing process, and the unexpected beauty of reconnection. Through art, we've not only found our voices, but also created a symphony of love and support. We are stronger together. As she concluded, the applause that erupted was filled with genuine appreciation. In that moment, I knew we had achieved something extraordinary. The exhibition had not only showcased our artwork, but transformed into a profound communal experience. As the lights began to dim, we gathered our materials, both exhilarated and exhausted. The day had been nothing short of extraordinary. In the midst of cleaning up, Sophia approached us, her face lit with enthusiasm. "Thank you for this. I felt seen today," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. My heart swelled with gratitude. "You made today special, Sophia. Your story touched so many hearts." As the night wound down and people filtered out, Kate and I stood side by side, absorbing the day's significance. The exhibition had reminded us of our purpose: to create connections, heal through storytelling, and embrace the power of community. Reflecting on the journey that had led us here, I was flooded with gratitude. This wasn't just about overcoming our past, it was about embracing the future together. The lessons I had learned through my struggles blossomed into this new chapter of shared creativity and connection. In that quiet moment, under the soft glow of the gallery lights, looking at the remnants of our project, I realized that our journey was not over. The threads we had woven together were only the beginning. Each new experience, each shared story, would continue to deepen our roots and strengthen our branches. As we locked eyes, Kate smiled, and in that shared gaze resonated a silent promise. Whatever lay ahead, we would face it together, with hearts unencumbered and spirits vibrant. The future was bright, bursting with potential, and together we would continue to paint our world with the colors of authenticity, resilience, and love.